Hey loves, it's me, Love Jones. I am back with another one. Why do I attract a certain kind of people around me? Like I attract certain kinds of people. Let's see what's in this energy right now, y'all. Law is not justice. She's holding a scale in her hand. Know why law is not justice? Because it can be corrupt. Law can be working with the enemy instead of doing things that help work with the people they should be working with. Instead of doing things to bring justice to the people who are lacking it, to the targets, to the TI, so to speak, targeted individuals. Instead of bringing justice to them, they would be corrupt. Rules that are there. Y'all can't see. That's what I was asking about. Like, why is these people like this always around me? And I have crystals too. It just seemed like, yeah, yeah. These seem like no good energy. It's people who be doing extra stuff. And they always find their way by me, like the lady with the broom in her pocket. Yeah, Buddy just been sitting here. His whole car is decked out with crystals. The whole car, y'all. Got all kind of little weird devices just kind of sitting up right here on this dashboard. I don't know. So anyway, an example of law not being justice is people being able to go into your house, to plant things in your house where no one is supposed to be in your house. We have people who are in the system, police officers, who are able to do certain things. The way people are able to manipulate the system for their good and not for you to actually have justice, but to do unjustified things. That's how law is not justice. Believe. Because so many unjustified things have been done. Y'all, everything keeps going. I'm gonna keep going. No coincidence. I don't think it's no coincidence that this stuff keep happening. So I'm gonna keep going anyway. Telling you to believe in spite of what's been going on, in spite of the ignorance, in spite of it seeming like you may not get any justice out of the situation because people take the law and they bend it, especially when they are in that field. People are able to manipulate certain people into doing things. And again, depending on how it's done, it could be justified for them, but it's an injustice for you. And when you have corrupt people in the system, or people who are not actual leaders, people who go by whatever it is they're told, then that can easily be manipulated for the like of others. Like when my supervisor told me, we work with police, and harassed. I was being stalked and watched inside of my home while no one is supposed to be inside of your home. Even them supposed to give you 24 hours, and they would need some type of search warrant, and even in order to do certain things. I never seen any search warrant. And so it's so funny to me how people were able to just put certain devices inside of my house. How certain things have happened after they watched me for so long. And I swear, y'all, it probably, I feel like certain devices was even inside of my shower head, because I would leave the house and come back, and every time I took a shower, I would have to readjust the shower head. It's like the part where it comes out of the wall. It's like that little metal piece that's supposed to be stuck on the wall. That little metal piece wasn't sticking. My face so shiny, y'all. But that little metal piece wasn't sticking. Every time I left the house and came back, when I take a shower, I would have to push that thing back to the wall. If I did not leave the house, and go all day long. If I did not leave the house that day, I never had to touch the shower head. When I take a shower, it'd be exactly the same. Pushed back up to the wall exactly like I would leave it. If I left the house for so much of 10 minutes, when I come back, by the time I take my shower, I have to readjust that thing. That's how quick. That's how they were watching me so hard. People always around. That's how they were able to watch me so hard and know my every move and every time I move. And I've been saying that for the longest. It's like when I move, you move. That's how people are. When I move, they move. When I move, they move. I wish y'all could see these little things, y'all. You got crystals stuck up on his dashboard, little trinkets hanging from the radio, all kind of other little things. I can't even see it all the way. Anyway, so yeah, that's an injustice. People using law to their advantage, not to actually help people, but to create an unsafe environment for those people, to harass people, to watch people in the privacy of their home, to be able to put certain things out for the public to watch or for certain people to view, and you not know about it. Somebody watching you in your home and recording you and then putting those recordings out for other people to be able to watch. Sex trafficking, garbage can people, a bunch of trash people who are there to protect and serve that really don't protect or serve you. Just believe, though. Let's just believe. Strange encounter. Something's going to happen. Something supernatural. Something that's going to happen where all of this is going to be fixed. But I don't know how you can fix that. People cause so much, at least for me, I've been caused so much of an injustice. Maybe you guys haven't went through as much as I have. Maybe you guys' privacy haven't been invaded as much as mine has. Maybe you haven't had as many lies told on you as I have. Maybe you haven't had as many relationships or potential business partners destroyed as much as I have. with someone in the background who's pretty much just trying to destroy your name because they're jealous, because they're envious, because they want something you have or want something you're about to get, because maybe they can't get what they used to get anymore. And I say these wannabes. I want to be a queen. Wannabes. That's why law is not justice. Because wannabes who are in the system can use it to manipulate their way around things. You can want to be all you want. If you're not that, if your actions show that you're not that, then you still not that. And so it doesn't matter what you take from somebody or how you make someone look, unless you have a bunch of brain dead people in the background who are only going by looks per se. Then you can make somebody look stupid, and therefore you might make yourself look like you're smart. Make yourself look like you have certain sense, certain knowledge, certain wisdom of things. But that's only if these people lack it. You can only get away with pulling something over somebody's head if they lack the common sense themselves. And so if these are people in leadership positions that you were able to fool into doing certain things or to get them to work for you, these aren't real leaders. These aren't people with a brain of their own, because had they had one of their own, it would have told them that they probably wasn't doing the right thing, that you get in certain jobs in order to help people, not hurt them. Especially when it comes down to police officers. It's like that's why certain communities have such a problem with police officers or certain police officers. So what you have here is a wannabe, somebody who wanted to be you, who wanted to destroy you, who wanted to make you look a certain way. Use the law to work against you, to cause certain things to happen in your life, to cause you certain mishaps in life, to cause you certain missed opportunities in life. To bring you down from wherever it was that you worked so hard to be. They wanted to snatch that from you. And they were able to. By using this law, they were able to. These scales in our hand, scales were not balanced here. The law was working with the ops and working for the ops. Imagine that. It's a huge injustice here for somebody. Huge injustice here. Can't go back to yesterday though. It's so funny, she has this eagle in her hand, represent freedom and justice. And there was no justice here. There was no freedom here for someone. They violated someone's rights here. All because of something someone said. This may have even been someone in the justice system who just did not like you. They wanted to be what you were. People like this don't belong in positions of power. But unfortunately, they hire them in all the time, and then they allow them to get away with as much as they can get away with. No, we've seen 1,000 times over people shoot and kill people and get away with it. They find some type of law that allowed them to be able to shoot this innocent person and get away with it because of what they thought. And then you have a dead individual. Another example of how law is not justice. You know, the law should be fixed where certain things aren't allowed to happen to people. You should not just be able to protect yourself, and therefore you're able to say anything about anyone. As we know how that goes, especially in cases of shooting someone else, killing someone else. I thought my life was in danger. I thought this. I thought that. You shouldn't be able to think. You should know. You should have to absolutely know. And so I feel like even if this is a case where someone may have not killed someone if they weren't trying to, could have been a severe injustice. They killed someone's life, their lifestyle, their way of living. They killed their stability all over what they believed to be true, or all over them wanting to be who you were. Something about you could be magical because for whatever reason I'm called to these mushrooms over here in the corner. Something about you could be very natural. Why this person here is just a wannabe. This person could have blonde hair, passing a test, declaring freedom, stating your serenity. Look, this passing a test, maybe someone was doing this in order to get into some type of group. You know, they have it these days where you can join certain things by tearing other people down. Those whole groups should be torn down. In my opinion, those entire groups should be torn to shreds. They should not exist. Those should be considered hate groups, and anybody found to be in one should, if not die themselves, be severely punished. Because why would you have to do anything to anyone else in order to be in a certain group? How are you showing anything other than a weak mind by doing something to someone else to be in a certain group? And look at this little smirk on her face. It says they absolutely knew what they were doing. They probably sat back and watched it. Lead the way. Be a leader. It's so funny. That may have been what you were doing. Leading the way with something. Being a leader in something. And then here this wannabe comes that around and they destroyed everything for you by using the justice system in order to destroy everything that you were building on. And they could even still be doing it now. Still doing things to try to destroy you because you haven't suffered enough for them. is somebody who wants to be you. Again, I'm getting there's some type of magic about you, because even in this card, there's believe. You see this unicorn right here? But meanwhile, they're holding on tight to this justice, this injustice, this eagle right here. Freedom. Someone who's able to rise above any situation. You can't go back to yesterday, so whatever you've lost, you've lost. Yes, there's no need of dwelling on it. You can only, it says, be in the present moment. But what if in the present moment they're still doing the same things? They're still causing you problems. There is still an injustice that has never been fixed. And so this wannabe right here was given a chance to destroy somebody's life, and now someone is having to rebuild it over again. Only, just like the card says, you can't go back to yesterday. You can't recreate some of these things that you could have been creating. You can't restart some of these things that you were working on to begin with, because they've created so much chaos and confusion around you. You may not be able to do anything other than try to survive. This person holding these scales in their hand, this person wants justice. And then you have this evil, jealous, envious hearted person right here. And I feel like whatever they were doing, it was very sneaky. Look at her eyes. Look at the way this cat is looking. It's very sneaky, very coward. And nobody in the justice system was able to read through that. You have to ask yourself, why y'all even have jobs that you have? Nobody could see through this. It's so disappointing. Yeah, and I say people are trash. Lead the way. Show others how it's done. You can help. May have been someone who was trying to help people, who were doing things that would potentially help people. This person did not want you to be seen in a certain light. And so they did things to destroy you, to make people look at you in the opposite way of who you truly are. Your privacy could have been invaded like mine. Use your time well. Make every moment count. I hope that's for this person, because I hope they don't have much time left in their life. That's what I hope. They don't have much time left in their life. Maybe they'll get a chance to see you get justice before they pass. And I don't mean pass the baton, because they never should have had it anyway. They stole it. If they have it at all, it's something that they stole. So jealous, again, envious people, malicious people. We're all mad here. Everyone is a little different. But yet you have this person right here who wanted to be the same as you. And they could have worked with several different people. Now it says we're all mad here. Maybe people finally see this person for who they are. Maybe people are finally able to see this sneaky, lying, manipulative person right here for who they are. This person could definitely be an intuitive person. If not, they'd probably get a lot of readings done. This cat, it's really giving me some type of intuition, some type of knowing. And so this person could have, again, they could have even been spiritually invasive towards you in order to make sure certain things got done. They could be trying to take on your personality. They could be trying to think your thoughts. They could be stealing your ideas. And at the same time trying to tear you down. Imagine that. Someone's going out of the way to try to be you. Think the way you think, move the way you move, do the things you do. And at the same time trying to tear you down so you would look less than. You would look like you're not capable of thinking the way you do. And they would look like your thoughts are theirs. Your ideas are theirs. Your movements are really theirs. Who in the world are you? Could be what a lot of people are asking now because they work with the enemy. They work with the ops. They've listened to what these people, this person and or these people had to say. They listened to them. And so now they form this opinion of you, and they could be realizing that this person has lied and thinking, oh my God, who are you? Who are you really? You are the person that this person was trying to be. What this person was showing them, that's who you are. These people are trash, y'all. Maybe some people just didn't know, but hopefully those people aren't in leadership positions where they're expected to be able to see through nonsense, because clearly they can. And if they can't see what they should be seeing, then they probably shouldn't be sitting in the seat they're sitting in. It's not a fake it till you make it, especially when it comes down to people's lives. Nonsense. It's time to talk sense. Queen of Hearts. This could be a water sign. Someone could be making this person come and give you something, come and apologize to you. I won't want anything from this person. Like, they can only give you your money in order to make the situation just a little bit better, because they can't actually replace anything. If they've had your privacy invaded, they've had you watched and stalked, they've had people turn their backs against you, they've had you miss out on opportunities that you were supposed to have. What is it can you say that'll fix that? For sure not, I'm sorry. You know what's funny is, for me, at the same time people were coming in and out my house when that was happening, I used to eat certain things and feel like I was getting high when I used certain seasonings, which tells me somebody was also putting something in my food. It's like, how can you come back from trying to completely destroy a person? How can you come back from trying to take someone's life? How can you say, oh, my bad, I was trying to kill you, but my bad. I wanted to see you turn into this crackhead, but oh, my bad. I didn't want to see you win. I didn't want to see you doing better than me. I wanted to be in the position that you were in. And so I ruined your life, but my bad. Honestly, I don't know about y'all. Maybe y'all would want the apology, but to me, it's not even worth it. I mean, write a letter or something. Don't come in my face. Write a letter because people want to know exactly why certain things happen. But don't come in my face with just an apology and think it's going to fix everything that has been done to me. Because what's the law going to do now if I want to do it back? Let me guess, the law would work for you, but the law didn't work for me. Can you imagine that? If I decided I was going to do all those things back, I wanted to have videos of you in your personal private places where I can post them on the internet, do what I wanted to do with the videos. I wanted to have you watched and stalked. I wanted to break into your house and do spell work over whatever I wanted to do spell work on. Maybe have you sexually trafficked if you were walking around in the nude, or forbid I put cameras in your shower. That goes beyond police duties. And so I don't even know why that would have happened, but I can tell you it absolutely happened for me. I wasn't coming home every day and having to adjust my shower for nothing when only me is in the house. And when I don't leave the house, I don't have to touch it. Couldn't be any more obvious. Every single day I left the house, when I take my shower, I have to adjust that shower head. Every single day I stayed at home and did not leave the house, I did not have to touch the shower. I never had to touch the shower head when I got in the shower. I would look up, it would still be in position. So imagine I decided I was going to do all this stuff back to you. Then who the law would work for then? And so the law worked for you when you were spreading the rumors and telling the lies, when you were causing an injustice for people or for this person, when you were being sneaky and doing evil things behind someone's back because you really want to be them. You want to be in their position in life. The law worked for you then, and the law is going to work for you if I decide I wanted to do it back, or if this person decides they want to do it back to you. That they want you to suffer everything that they suffer. They want you to lose everything that they lost. They want you to see how it feels. The law will work for you then too. Becoming braver, growing stronger, resilience, experience. Because you had no other choice. Because this was forced on you. While everybody had the back of the person who was doing all the harm. While people laughed and talked and supported this person who was causing all the problems, who was telling all the lies, who was manipulating everyone and everything. What's the other option other than being brave? Other than just letting a situation make you strong? What is the other option? What's the other option? Now, I listen to this one reader, and she always says, "Don't give up, y'all." And my question is always, I never type it in or anything, but I always ask myself, well, what's the other option? If you give up, then what? You gonna kill yourself? If you give up, then what? You just gonna lay on a street corner? If you give up, then what? You just gonna do some type of major drugs to ease your mind, become this homeless drug addict on the corner? Like, what's the other option? By giving up, what are you gonna do? What's that gonna accomplish? And I know people saying, well, a lot of people probably do. They going through situations like this. They may do give up and go into these moments where they become this crackhead on the corner because how their life has been, where they stop fighting and they have to sleep underneath the trees. This person looks pissed. No need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. Yeah, you're powerful enough to get through what you've been going through. But if you're like me and been dealing with it for years now, at a certain point you question it now. The power. What's the purpose of it? Again, if you have people who have done this to you over all these years, who've had the law, the justice system working on their side, and you decide you want to retaliate and the justice system is still on their side, how is that helping you? And you can give money and you should give money, but money doesn't help everything. No, I was saying the other day, money only helps those people with everything who are willing to disgrace themselves anyway. They're willing to embarrass themselves. They're willing to do sexually explicit things in the public. They're willing to look stupid in so many ways for the money. Money will absolutely solve all their problems because that's what they're willing to do. They're willing to do it to themselves anyway. You got people do it all the time for the money. But for someone who is private, like I am, like I was, for someone who's a private person and who did the right things in order to try to accomplish things, money doesn't fix everything. Money can maybe bring a lot of things back that they've lost over time. Money's not going to give you back that pride, that dignity that was taken away when these people did certain things to you. When these people invaded your privacy when it came to certain things, the way these people talked to you or treated you, the way people made you feel. Money not going to help that. I guess that's where you being brave and your power coming in at, because money doesn't help that. But again, you have people all the time who who will degrade themselves in order to just get the money. And so money would help them. Money doesn't help everybody. You are rare and free. So this could have been a woman here. It doesn't have to be. It could have been a man. But there is definitely someone who was watching you and they didn't like your moves. They didn't like your moves. They didn't like your movement. They didn't like the power that you had over people. They did not like the way you were able to take care of yourself. They didn't like the way you didn't seek validation from others. They didn't like your self-esteem. They didn't like the way that you were able to live without any help. They didn't like the way you were this single independent person. They didn't like your ideas that you had because they were so great. They didn't like the businesses that you were building, but they didn't like all of this for you. They liked it for them. Maybe this is someone who felt like you didn't deserve to have these things that you worked for. Someone who felt entitled to have things without doing the work for it. And the justice system worked. The laws worked in their favor because they knew how to manipulate them. Trust that you are learning. Find the lesson in the situation. I don't know, y'all. I'm still trying to figure out what is it that you could have learned by going through this when you were doing everything right and minding your own business and you had people hating off you in the background. Cowards who wanted to be you at the same time, who was willing to do anything to take you down. What can you learn from this? Not to trust everybody. I'm sure you didn't trust these people who were doing this. That's why they cowardly did it from behind the scene. To not depend on anybody because the justice system doesn't always work in your favor because people know how to manipulate it to get their way. Don't act like you're too smart when it comes to being around certain people because they may take that offensively. So, what, you have to dummy down when you're around people? Or should you just go find the right people to be around where you can just be yourself and nobody's trying to steal the you from you and using the system against you? Deception. Somebody could be having sleepless nights, night sweats. They could be embarrassed about something that they did, whatever this is that they did. This is a bad omen. It says failure. If they were trying to take you out, they failed. They was trying to have you on a street corner and them live your life, they failed. They probably was able to live your life. They probably had you suffering and took a lot from you, but you didn't have to sleep on the ground. It's what they expected. You'd probably have not no access to a cell phone to be able to continue to talk about anything. They thought they were putting you in a situation where you would never be able to come back from it, that people would always look at you in a certain light, that you would never be able to get back to that stability that you had once before. And so they will forever be looked at like they were you and you were them. Maybe they wanted you to be this bum. They wanted you to be this beggar. They wanted you to be this drug head person. They wanted you to be this prostitute. They wanted you to be out there willing to do anything for money. And they probably had people following you around just to see who you gonna screw this time. Who you gonna screw to get up out of this. I want to be around so I can have pictures and I can get first dibs on you trying to come up out of this that I put you in. See whose money you gonna take to in exchange for sex because you don't have any money, because you don't have any food, because you don't have any place to stay. Who's gonna believe you when you say these ideas that everybody keeps having are your ideas that they're stealing? Who's gonna believe you when you say I stole your ideas? When you're homeless on the street and everybody think you're this drug head that's gone crazy, and everybody think you're this lying, thieving prostitute, when everybody thinks you do magic spells over people. Who's gonna believe you over me when you have nothing and I have everything? They never expected you to come back from this. And for me, if you like me, they probably were doing it over and over and over and over again. Every time it looked like you were coming up, they had to do something else to knock you down. And so if making you lose your job wasn't good enough, they had to make sure you had no money when you lost your job. And so they were probably monitoring bank accounts just to make sure you had no money when they got rid of you. If you had money they couldn't see coming to you, then they had to go and do something extra to make sure they could take that money from you. An example for me would be when I was able to take my 401k, which they couldn't see at the banks that they had everyone staged in. And I was able to take that 401k and still be able to move around with it. Then all of a sudden, something happens to my car, and I'm forced to spend every dime in my pocket thinking I was going to be reimbursed, only for them to not reimburse me. And so, if they couldn't make me not have anything when they caused me to lose my job, it's like, oh, okay, she still has this. Well, let us do this and see how you gonna come back from that, because now you have nothing. Meanwhile, they were stealing all your thoughts. Meanwhile, they were stealing everything you worked on. Meanwhile, they were stealing your personality, your businesses, your money. Imagine that, thinking you're gonna make somebody homeless and sleeping on the corner and they can't do anything but sleep on the corner outside of their job, outside of the old job that they used to have, only to find out that this person still had means of this person still had extra money to be able to move around with that you weren't expecting. So now you have to come and do some other weird stuff in order to try to make the person lose that. Mail is stopped, calls are being monitored, email is hacked. They're making sure, spreading rumors and hacking into all of your accounts that no one would even want to help you. because of all these negative things they've said. They're making sure that everybody looks down on you. And so if you're in a new place, they're going to get to that new place and they're going to make sure they say some things around that new place, or have someone else come in and say these things to make people look at you crazy, to make people look down on you, to make people turn their nose up at you, to make people side eye you, feel like you're less than. This was someone who was making a very big effort to destroy you and become you. And it worked for quite some time. Says everyone is mad here, so I'm assuming this, maybe people are finding out who they've been working with the whole time and who they've been working against. Speedy intelligence. Something could be coming in. Somebody could be coming in to tell you something. Somebody could be coming in to give you something. That's that's cool. Hopefully y'all haven't went through this for as long as I have. Aquarius could have had something to do with this. It says lost or theft. They definitely caused you to lose everything. They definitely stole a lot from you. There's no question. They wanted to become you. They were stealing money, ideas, businesses, and they left you abandoned. Abandoned not just by them, abandoned by your job, abandoned by family, abandoned by people you called your friends, abandoned by people who didn't even know you, just in case they seen you and they thought about helping. We want to make sure they don't want to. We need them to look at you in a certain way, because you can't come back from what it is I'm trying to do to you. Because if you come back from it, then that means I can't do what I'm doing. And nobody else matters except for me, right? It's a very selfish person. Person who was all in their ego, a person that lacks self-esteem, a person who don't know who they truly are because they're trying to be you. And so you could have even been left like this. The star, I feel like that's who you supposed to be. Everything that you worked for, with all the work that you were putting in, that's who you were, the star. But they left you like this, abandoned, outside with nothing, just naked for the world to see, for the world to watch you be at your lowest point in life. Why everybody laughed because they believed whatever this person said. Why nobody attempted to help because they believed whatever this person was saying. While people probably even chimed in and tried to steal what they can steal because they believed what this person was saying. While people made jokes about it, found topics to talk about because they believed what this person was saying. Reflection, somebody could be looking back at something. This is also like fairy favors, temporary gifts, stuff that don't last long. says it could even be a card of movement. Someone could have had to move. They could have lost someone to lose their home. Again, we said you could have been outside like this. Nothing and nobody. This could be some type of movement you're about to get ready to have. It's these hidden enemies. Again, this person did this behind your back. They wasn't even brave enough to do it in your face, to let you know what they were doing. They didn't give you a chance to fight back or plead your case. They didn't give you a chance to show people who you are versus who they were. They didn't give you a chance to tell the truth about them while they were telling lies about you. They did it cowardly behind your back. If you're like me, you probably did not even know where this was coming from. It just all happened at one time. You could have been exiled, or this person could be exiled, but considering the card that comes right behind it, someone may lose their life. This may be the end for somebody here. Which wouldn't surprise me, because if you got someone who's living in that north node, who's trying to live in their divine purpose, who doing what it is they were called to do, and then you have someone here who was trying to stop them from doing what they were called to do, trying to force a person down and make them live out of their south node. They wanted to see you prostitute. They wanted to see you steal. They wanted to see you do these drugs. They wanted to see people hate you and you're constantly in fights with people around. They wanted to see this. And so because they were trying so hard to get a person who done nothing to them, a person that they were just jealous of, to be destroyed, they could have even wished death on you. Told you somebody was definitely putting something in my food. Dodging car wrecks all the time. Believe me, when you dodging car wrecks, people don't want to just see your foot broke, your arm broken. That's somebody trying to take you out. And so this person could have even wished death on you. But when it all said and done, when it comes back, that could be very well what they're getting for themselves. Corruption. Because they worked with people again in the justice system. Law didn't work for you. It worked for them. Law is not going to work for you if you retaliate. It's going to work for them. They were able to manipulate the law to work for them. Probably to manipulate people working in the law to work for them. They could have been paying people to do this with money they made off of you, exploiting you, exploiting your gifts, stealing things that you created, stealing creative ideas, things that was given to you for you to benefit from. These people are probably out here living a good life while you... It's funny, I was just listening to somebody saying that earlier. They living a good life while you're out here living in poverty. And they're living off you and off your money and off your ideas. Imitation, competition. This person was in competition with you to get what it is that you had. They should have not even been competing. You were in the position you were because you worked it. You worked to get there. They were competing and imitating you trying to get that position. They don't want to do the work, but they can be a better you than you could be you. Imagine that. Oh, she posts this like this. Okay, well, I can do that too. Oh, this is what she think about all day. Okay, well, let me think about this all day. Oh, this is the way she talk to people. Okay, well, let me start talking to them like this too. Meanwhile, spreading rumors on you, lying on you, stealing from you. Oh, that's a really good idea. Let me take it, because she can't do anything with it on the street. And if she ever finds out, who's going to believe her? A homeless person versus me, this person with all of this stuff going on. A person who's so well established. A person who has this outstanding reputation. Why I've ruined hers. Who's going to believe her over me? I already made sure nobody believed her. I already made sure people looked at her crazy. Yeah. People are sick, sad, and stupid. And if their punishment is the cards I just seen, and they deserve it. They deserve it. Because it wouldn't come to that if they weren't trying to do what they were trying to do to you, which could have very well been just unalive you. Again, especially if you were anything like me, if they were putting stuff in your food, they were trying to get you addicted to some kind of drugs, if they were trying to cause car accidents while you were in it. Believe me, I've dodged a whole lot of car accidents. I've dodged a lot of them. Matter of fact, I have this video of one in particular. When I was leaving here, after everything first happened, I decided I was just going to leave Georgia. I was on the road and I was like seconds off being in an accident. You know, God does everything for a reason, and I know I'm always protected when it comes to certain things. And so just like I've been able to dodge all the ones that were happening here or had the potential to occur here, I was able to just miss that one too. Just by a couple of seconds. Just something as simple as me taking my foot off the gas for a few seconds allowed me to be a couple of seconds behind, because the truck in front of me it wasn't a trailer attached to it. Or you know what? I think it was a trailer. It was a truck and a trailer attached to it. Not one of the regular trailers you would like put lawn equipment on, but one of the ones that look like horses or some type of animals or some type of movie equipment or something would have been in the back of one of those type of trailers. Big long white trailers. Almost look like the ones you see on the road where horses be hanging their head out the side of it. Those type. It was attached to this trailer. I just missed it literally by a second or two. It wobbled and the truck spin around. When the truck stopped, it was facing back towards the traffic that was like we were going this way and the truck was coming back this way. When it stopped spinning, the trailer on it just flipped completely over, and the truck was like probably a few inches off flipping off the side of the highway. And it was a big drop. Had he flipped, that was a big drop. And it's so funny because I remember thinking, oh, they definitely trying to screw me over with this one. And I remember looking up and it was an 18 wheeler on the side of me. And the 18 wheeler, the first thing I seen on it was a picture of Marvin the Martian. Imagine that. Marvin the Martian. I was like, yeah, I already know. I already know. You can't do nothing but thank God for his protection and keep going. We made sure everybody was okay, which they were. They jumped out of the truck immediately. But that trailer, it was in pieces. It was in pieces. Literally just seconds. I was behind the trailer. I was behind it. Had I been going a second or two faster, like had I not let up off my gas for a second, I would have been right there with it. And so it's funny to avoid all of that and then get there, and then something so simple as, I guess they say, if I can't get you some way, I'm gonna get you one way or another. I'm in Walmart and all of a sudden somebody come out of Walmart, or someone comes in Walmart with my mirror in their hand, because some little young girl who wasn't supposed to even be driving had her brothers in the car, and evidently it came up to Walmart and it was a windstorm. And they say the wind blew the door open and knocked my mirror off my car. Can you imagine that? Something so simple as a mirror cost me thousands of dollars. Why did it cost me thousands of dollars? Because it took them 3 months to fix it. 3 months past the month that I already planned on staying where I was. And so I had plans on staying there a month. I just wanted to see if it was a place I can live in for good. Did I like it? Let me just see how it feels. And so I had plans on being there for a month. After about 2 weeks, I was ready to go. I was over it, the whole thing. Because when I got there, immediately I can feel like it wasn't a difference from being here. I felt like I was being watched all the time. It was even worse because I had military people around all the time. All the little subliminal messages. I was just over it. I was over it. The people who I was in the Airbnb with remind me so much of the people here from my job, or my old job. And I was just kind of over the whole thing, y'all. They lied about the Airbnb I was in. I thought it was going to be my own little private area, and it was really just an attachment at like another room in the house. It had its own kitchen, its own bathroom, true enough, but it was literally just an area in one house that had evidently several areas that they were Airbnb in. So they lied to even get you in it. I was just kind of over the whole thing, my whole experience there for the first couple of weeks. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to get to where I'm going next. And for sure, as soon as I started thinking about where I was going next, and that's what happened. The mirror was torn off my car, and it took them 3 months to fix it. Which I was like, okay, I can still pay. I know Vegas not cheap. Vegas not cheap. You know, you can find cheap moments, but the weekend come and the cheap weekdays, it's like they make up for it on the weekend. And so you pay a little money during the week, but on the weekend, prices shoot way up. You're paying 4 or 5 times the price you paid on the weekend. Food's not cheap. They gave me a rental car. The rental car I was in took twice the amount of gas as my car. And so it was just so much stuff costing me extra money. But they told me that they would reimburse me, only to hold my car for 3 months. And when I absolutely got down to nothing, literally, I didn't have $1 left in my pocket, then I got a phone call saying I can come and pick up my car. That was no coincidence that happened like that. It wasn't a coincidence. It was planned. They were trying to make sure I had nothing. And I go and get my car, and I'm calling them to talk about reimbursing me for my stay because I've kept all the receipts from everything like they told me to do. And they pretty much tell me that they're not going to reimburse me anymore. So I've kept all these receipts for nothing. I've waited all this time for nothing. Had y'all said it at the beginning, I wouldn't have even been here. I would have just kept going to where I was going. I would have taped that thing up and kept moving. But they waited until I had nothing left and was like, yeah, no, we can't do anything about that. What? Yeah, it was horrible. And so I guess I dodged too many accidents, and they was like, okay, we can't get her like that. This a defensive driver right here, yeah. Hence the phrase, Jesus take the wheel, because he done took the wheel several times for me. Several times, over and over and over and over again. Because it was happening regularly. Regularly. I've never dodged that many accidents before in my life. They was like, yeah, we can't get her that way, so we gonna get her this way. We need to get that money from her. You need to make sure she have nothing. You need to get her to where she can't come back from anything. Cause she don't have anything to come back from. The thing, I got a brain. Good thing I have a brain. I've lost everything and still been able to survive. Good thing I have God. Yeah, good thing I have God. Because they were trying to tear me down over and over and over and over again. When I tell you I knew that accident was meant for me to be in, that 18 wheeler sitting next to me, Martian, what is it? Marvin the Martian, painted on the side of it. And that trailer flipped over like it was, and I was literally right there, just within like 3 feet of the trailer when it flipped over. When you going 75, 80 miles per hour on the highway, you can't just stop on a dime like that. I was literally just a couple feet away from that thing. But nonetheless, they did it anyway, and so yeah, it is what it is. We here now. You know, it ain't the best, but we making it. We surviving. Hopefully, y'all situation wasn't as worse as mine, or worse than mine. Something's coming. Something is coming. I don't know what it is, but something. I can't imagine it just being an apology after everything, though. I can't imagine. It's got to be something. Again, money isn't going to make everything better, but it would help the situation. You can't take back what's already been done, but you can pay for the things that you caused somebody to lose. You can give them back a peace of mind, at least to a certain extent. Fair young man. That's what you made. Fair young man. Someone could be coming to you. giving you some type of good news, bringing you some type of message or something. This also says render service. Remember I was saying earlier, someone was talking about some type of person coming in, like a lawyer or attorney, and somebody was there working on your behalf, and you may have not known about. This could be that. This person could be coming in maybe to give you the results. I said that because it says render service, and so it could be something that they've done for you. And they could be bringing you in this good news. This person is not standing in the water, but the water back there tells me that there's some emotion when it comes to this. Something could make you emotional. It's also a card of reflection, so you're definitely going to be looking back on things as it was versus what it could be whenever this comes in. So I don't want to say expect good news, because then you'll be expecting it and it'll seem like it's taking forever. And so keep doing what you're doing, and something will come soon. I'll say that. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Yeah, you'll be celebrating about something soon enough, y'all. I'm going to end it here at 1 hour and 17 minutes. I swear I don't be trying to talk for this long. I really don't be. I'm going to have to do something else. I'm going to try to stick to the subject. I'm going to try to shorten these down to like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most, because this just be too much time. And only if you have that much time on your hands, you're going to sit up and watch a reading for an hour and a half. Unfortunately, sometimes I do have that sometimes I do have that much time on my hands, and I'll sit up and watch something for that long. Honestly, my mind gets to going, and I'll be doing something else while it's just playing in the background. And so I don't want y'all to be doing that for me. I'm going to try to keep them short. I'm going to work on keeping these much shorter than they've been going, so hopefully you got some coming in soon. Hopefully we have something, some changes being made. I don't know, y'all. I'll be back.